Take a breath and relax. Release any tensions in your body. And just have the thinking mind take a break. And you'll notice a really simple shift as you take these inhalations. You relax away the tensions. You'll notice prior, the mind was jumping between thoughts, like they're chained together from one to the next. When you simply turn the attention on the breath and turn the attention on attention itself, becoming aware of awareness itself and aware of your breath itself, aware of relaxation itself, aware of just being alive itself, you'll notice that the thinking mind slows down. And just tune in right now to the intention of what we're doing with this show. Specifically, this show has evolved so much over the last couple of years. Continuously following the biggest questions and wanting to know the nature of reality. And this seems to be the most fast way. The quickest way to know what your true nature is to ask the biggest questions. What is the nature of my reality? What is the nature of consciousness? Is this a manifestation of infinity? How do we maximize our potential individually, collectively? And when you ask these biggest questions, inevitably, you're going to be led to more signal. This is what you could say is the direct path to know the nature of reality. And especially where I'm coming from now versus where I was coming from earlier, now more and more of my heart is with you. More and more of my intention is to support you. In you asking the big questions, in you finding the signals and the answers, in you being able to rejoice in the peace and the love that is our true nature. And how that maximizes your individual prosperity as well as the collective prosperity. There is only one intelligence at play. And this is what happens when you follow these biggest questions to the signal, to the truth. And so as we take this breath and we relax all of our conceptual thinking, all of our describing, every time we do that, we break the chain of thinking and we break our networks and webs of conditioning. We're conditioned perpetually to jump from thought to thought nonstop. And these greatest planetary mystic traditions, and again, mysticism simply means becoming one with God. Yoga, union, means becoming one with God, with absolute, with the highest. We already all are that, but this chain of thinking creates these clouds of obscuration that prevent us from seeing the true nature. And so whenever you take these inhalations, you become aware of awareness, you relax any tensions in your body, and you stop the conceptual mind from describing and thinking. So a most common example is you're no longer thinking about the items that you have on the calendar for tomorrow. You're no longer thinking about the people that you have to reply to. You're no longer thinking about the action items that you have going on, about food, about sleep, about your relationships. And those are normally where our thoughts jump around incessantly. And so as you undergo this process of just inhaling and relaxing that thinking mind, you'll notice that those clouds of thoughts slowly become less and less strong in drawing you out to them. And you become more and more aware of what happens when you're not jumping from thought to thought. And this is what we mean through this video, this very simple explanation of the core of spirituality, the core of mysticism, the core of yoga. We're simply asking you to see as God sees. We're simply asking you to decondition yourself from those webs of thoughts that are dragging you around all day nonstop, that are making you feel like you have lack. I'm not enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not loved. I'm not seen. So now I, as a person that's not loved, not worthy, not seen, have to focus nonstop on this web of thinking for me to be able to extract validation from other people. And then I'll be happy. And then I'll be peaceful. And so we're asking you to recognize that that entire process is of the person. And we're asking you to lovingly, radically accept that beautiful lower frequency process. It was there to serve us in this creation, but we are radically, lovingly accepting it, and then we are shifting from that lower frequency of all of the separate person conditioning, and we're purifying to God, to seeing the way God sees, to this very primordial oneness. The simple shift from the separate person and its webs of conditioning and thinking, feeling I am unworthy, I am not loved, I am not seen, and now I need to extract all of this validation. Whereas when you purify by breaking that chain of thinking and just relaxing the tensions and recognizing the very nature of the fact that you already are worthy. God already is 100% worthy. Every single one of us is 100% worthy. It's like all of our cups are already 100% full. And then the person undergoes the illusion of feeling that their cup is not 100% full, and then going out trying to seek validation and being seen and getting acknowledged as being worthy from family and friends and coworkers via clout, via fame, via money, via material success. The shift as we purify all of that person conditioning to seeing as God sees rather than seeing as the person sees, which is a lower frequency, we shift up to this higher frequency of seeing as God sees, the very primordial oneness of it all. We see that our cup was 100% full the whole time. We were worthy. We were 100% loved the whole time. And that's when we relax. We see as God sees. We see that the entire creation is one intelligence. It's simply one infinite creator, endlessly expressing itself. And this universe, this creation, is but one manifestation. It's but one exploration. It's but one of infinite possibilities for us to play, for us to explore, for us to get to know ourselves. And so then you see that primordial oneness when you relax that thinking mind that's constantly jumping around trying to extract worthiness. And slowly you decondition yourself from that. And what happens when you decondition yourself from that is you relax more and more into the already, always 100% worthy God state. And you see everything as that primordial oneness. The shift, this purification that we're talking about, is more and more over time coming from seeing as God sees, instead of coming from the lower frequency of seeing as the separate conditioned person that's under the illusion that their cup is only partly full and that they need to get it filled up by jumping in their conditioned web of thought and extracting validation and peace and happiness from people, from family, friends, coworkers, society, fame, wealth, money, clout, material possessions, and so forth. And so this is simple spirituality. This is what our channel is really bringing from our hearts to yours. The most simple distillations of what the nature of reality is. The most simple ways for us to recognize our true nature, maximize our own individual prosperity, as well as the collective's prosperity. All of our goals in entrepreneurship, in science, engineering, politics, art, finance, all of our goals in those fields, especially geopolitics, are further augmented and enhanced by our shift from this lower frequency of I am unworthy as a separate conditioned person to I see the way God sees. And everyone shifting to seeing the way God sees. That is what is meant by the awakening. That is what is meant by the planetary enlightenment. We are making that shift collectively. So we will continue the process of creating content to help with this purification from this lower frequency to this higher frequency, to seeing as God sees, and much more. So thank you for tuning in. Infinite love. Very grateful. And if the video brought you value, give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't. Comment below with where you're at in this process. I'll do my best to reply. We have a simulation club as well. You can join. The link is in the bio below, which has great perks. And share the video of seeing as God sees with your friends, family, coworkers, people online. And let's accelerate this planetary awakening. Thank you.